Hello everyone, HisRoyalFatness here. Welcome back to the channel. And for today, we're going to be continuing the How to Play series, or more How I Play series. And I'm going to change it up this time, where I'm going to show 3 consecutive games. And today we are playing the BC-25t. The reason I am doing the 3 consecutive battles is I think it's a more realistic demonstration of how a vehicle plays, right? Good games, bad games, I'm going to show them all right here. 3 games I played in a row when I logged on and played my BC today. And the reason I'm doing this instead of just showing the 6, 7, 8,000 damage games is because I think this is a more realistic expectation of what you can expect during the battle, right? It's quite rare that you hit those 7, 8,000 damage marks. So I want to show my thought process during everyday battles. I wish I could do this live, but unfortunately I can't, so I'm just gonna have to voice over after I've done the game. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. So today, let's go right into the BC-25t. I've taken a very aggressive spotting position on Black Goldville, and if you don't use this position, definitely give it a try. It's really good. There's a bush here. You can spot anybody going into town, and usually you can get shots off in the heavy tanks and you won't even get spotted back. Now what you'll see what I've done here is I've already turned my tank around. I'm not going to shoot the 268 because I know that will get me spotted, but the T-110E4 decided he wanted to ruin my plans. But because I was already angled around, the moment I got spotted, I was able to start pulling forward and not take a full HE penetration there, which is great for me. Now, I am going for a full clip reload, and that's because I'm planning on pushing this T-92E1, and that's because this is an opportunistic moment. He's completely isolated from his team. Sure, there's TDs above, but he's also isolated. I'm not going to pull all the way around from this building. I'm going to hug this house because I don't want to risk getting hit by TDs. I am going to get a little bit lucky here. He bounces, but I was able to put a full clip in this T-92, and my team is already starting to nuke him for it. So getting him out of the spawn, he was isolated. I saw that and I pushed on him. And that's what you really want to do with the BC. You want to be very opportunistic with this tank. And I think that's the best way to describe the BC is an opportunistic tank. A lot of people will YOLO or play super aggressive, and that's all good and well, but it's really not using the tank to its best abilities. And this tank is really supposed to be as sneaky as possible, and I was able to spot the T-92 there, get a nice kill shot, and I pulled right back into cover. Again, I want to reset my camo before I relocate. I don't want those TDs to shoot me. Moving back to opportunism with the BC, that is how you want to play the BC, or that's how I play the BC. It works pretty well for me. I know some people can do really well playing it very aggressive, but it's just playing the BC super aggressive. Usually you end up losing a lot of HP and dying, and it all depends on the situation. The reason I want to highlight these games though is because I'm being very opportunistic, aware of the enemy's positions and locating accordingly. And knowing how to locate accordingly in the BC is important. Now I know there's TDs up there, which is why I'm not poking. I don't know if they're pre-aiming me. I'm going to wait it out for a little bit. But I noticed, okay, wait, the 268 was spotted. He's not looking at me. I'm going to see if I can put a shot into him, and I catch the E4 completely off guard. And I'm going to put a nice hat shot into him, and he's going to be shot from the left, so I have almost 2,000 spotting. That's great. I'm going to put another shot on the E4. And that was a nice opportunistic moment right there, waiting for the enemy team to get distracted with mine. I wasn't sure if they're pre-aiming me or not. So that's really what you want to focus with your BC playing. And I'm going to pick up a nice kill shot on this E4. I'm going to put a heat shell through his hatch, and I'm going to poke out, see if the 268 is looking at me. He's still distracted, which is great. And I'm going to load the heat here just because I want to guarantee the penetration. Now he's a 2-shot, makes my job a little bit easier. And at this moment, this 268 is he's just going full YOLO mode on me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back up, make him pull out around the corner because he has slow traverse speed, and I'm going to try and take his tracks off. So I take his tracks off for the first shot, which is great. Second shot unfortunately misses, so I still end up taking a shot, but I did play that accordingly. I just messed up my aim there, and the 268's dead. At this point, the game's already won, but I just wanted to show you this game because it showed that I played very passively, right? I could have YOLO'd into those TDs or whatever, and then maybe that would have worked, but that's not how you want to play the BC. And at this point, the enemy team is already dead. It's just a almost full health Badger versus a bunch of tanks, and he's actually turning towards me, but it turns out he's actually looking towards the counter cap. So I'm going to load up the high explosive ammunition here because any tank at tier 10 and 9 can HE this thing in the rear. It has terrible high rear armor. So that's the first game done, and not an amazing game, but it actually turns out being an ace tanker because I got over 2,000 spotting damage. So I'm pretty pleased with that result. Like I said, not amazing games, but good games that demonstrate how the vehicle can perform. So for this next battle, we're going to be on Normandy, and this map is either great or terrible for the bat shot. It really depends on enemy lineup. I'm happy the enemy team doesn't have any Sheridans, so I don't have to worry about that so much, but I'm still going to take this position at the very start, see if I can get some early spotting on the enemy team. And I will actually spot up a lot of tanks. I spot 3 tanks up, and I'm just pre-aiming this right side, seeing if their mediums are going to come. And I notice right here, okay, that T-30 is pulling up into that bush. So I want to pull out. I don't even want to try and shoot him and pull down, because I'll take shot back in return, almost guaranteed. And as you can see, the 50B and the T-30 both pulled up to that ridge line, looking straight at where I was sitting in that bush. I could have taken 1,000 damage there. So being proactive in avoiding getting shot is very important, right? So just because you're in a bush doesn't mean you should just sit there. If you notice, okay, the enemy are going to poke up there, maybe I should relocate. And that's exactly what I did here. I relocated down low because I saw nobody on my team was going mid or low. They were all going high. My goal here was to try and get the enemy tanks in a crossfire, because they're going to freely start being aggressive towards the middle of the map, which is exactly what that 1-2-1 was doing. I was able to put a sneaky shot into him. Now, he spotted me here. It would be foolish of me to poke this bush again and try and shoot him. So I'm just going to wait for my counter to reset, and once again, I am relocating to try and find a new sneaky position where I can put shots into maybe the 1-2-1 or the Conqueror. And this hill back here is perfect. I do have some rather small shots, and you can see the 1-2-1 actually blind fired the bush where I was last spotted. So it was definitely good that I didn't sit there and try to shoot him. I'm going to put 2 shots through his turret with heat, and then once again, just moving on. Now, I have 2 opportunities here, or 2 choices here. I could either turn back and try and take care of those 2 tanks in the mid, or I can push up and try and be a distraction up top. And I'm going to do the latter of the decisions. I'm going to push up top because I see this is where the main fight is happening. Those tanks down there aren't being very useful, the ones down towards the encounter cap. Whereas these tanks here are more of a threat towards my team, and I can be more of a distraction towards them. So I'm going to put a shot on the 50B. I'm not going to sit around because I don't want to risk maybe the T-30 was looking at me, which he wasn't, but there was a chance he was. I didn't want to risk getting shot there. And I'm just going to go for the clip reload here. But now my presence here is a distraction, and it works out because now their attention isn't solely focused on my Badger. And as you can see, this Patton really wants to get aggressive on me. I'm going to sit here and wait for him to aggress, and then I'm going to take his tracks off. Great. I'm going to put another shot into him. He misses his shot on me, which is unfortunate for him, but good for me. And I'm going to take his tracks off again. So now I've dealt 900 plus damage to the Patton, and this position I'm holding here, I'm just being a nuisance to the enemy team. This Patton seems to be a little angry, and he's going to go for me again. I feel fine taking the shot here because I know I can put another full clip into this Patton, which is exactly what's going to happen. So we're going to do 1-2, and here's the 3rd shot. He misses his shot again, so that's great for me. I've done 1,800 plus damage to that Patton and brought him down to a 1-shot. Now his gun is practically useless, and I can see the Conqueror is just going full YOLO mode on the Badger. I'm going to put a shot into him, but I'm not going to be overly aggressive, and that's because I don't want to put myself into a crossfire. I'm not sure where that T-30 is, and if I push up to try and continue to put shots into the Conqueror, I might get myself clipped out. I do get a bit of an unlucky bounce there, and now I'm in a little bit of a difficult position. I have an AMX 50B pushing me from behind and a Conqueror in front of me. The best decision for me to do is to kill this Conqueror. Unfortunately, I take a huge shell by that T-30 right there, and now the 50B is going to start shooting me, but I know he has a 3-second interclip reload, so I'm going to take this opportunity to pull behind cover. At this point, the game's looking really good for my team. They're 3 1-shots, and I'm in the bat chat. I'm just going to pick up the kill on the T-30. And this AMX 50B decides he just wants to go full YOLO mode, and unfortunately, when I'm pre-aiming the corner, there's nothing he can do about that. So, not an amazing game, right? 3.7k damage is pretty average, but that's exactly what I want to show is my thought process during even regular games like this. Now, this game actually turns out to be pretty good, and I'm very happy with how I play out this game. We are on Naval Frontier, which is one of my actual favorite maps for light tanks, and I'm going to take the very aggressive early spotting position. I say very aggressive, it's not like that aggressive, but it's fairly aggressive. And I'm just pre-aiming here. I spot the E100, I put a shot into him, and at this point, I'm not going to poke there. I can see that E100 is pre-aiming. It would be stupid for me to try and poke out and shoot him again. But I'm going to do half pokes. And the reason I'm doing that is I'm wanting to spot other tanks that are pushing up past the E100 without exposing myself fully. So I spot the T-54, the mouse, get a nice shot into the T-54, and I'm just going to go for a full clip reload. There's no way I'm poking this and not getting shot. They have an E100 sitting there, and they have 2 unspotted waffles, right? Me sitting here and trying to poke for shots is stupid. And that mouse there, he will actually perma-spot me if I keep sitting there. So I'm just going to pull all the way out at this point. And this mouse is making a very peculiar play. He's very aggressive here. I want to see if I can try and put shots into him. I thought he would turn up to try and shoot our T95 here, which is why I'm poking this position. But it turns out he's just chilling in the mid, kind of looking around, doing his thing. I missed my first shot. I don't really want to take a shot from this mouse if I can help it, so I'm just going to aim a second heat shot and pull back. Right, so here is my situation. We have a mouse in the mid, several unspotted TDs, and E100 on my left. So the best play for me at this point is to just relocate once again, which is what the bat chat is made for, really. It's made for relocating, clipping, and that's how you want to play it. I'm going to push up because I want to see if I can try and either get shots into those TDs. I know they have a Badger above encounter cap at this point. I don't know where else he would be unless he is spawn camping, but that's a little unlikely. He's a decent player. And I noticed, wait, that mouse is pulling back towards the encounter cap, which means I might actually have an opportunity to shoot him. So I'm just going to be patient and wait. And sure enough, he pokes out sideways. I put 2 shots into him, and I'm surprised he actually spotted me there, but what do you know? Mouse doesn't have terrible view range, I guess. I say that slightly sarcastically. So I'm just going to go for a full clip reload once again. And I notice, all right, our ST1's gone on a full YOLO run for that mouse. The Badger is above him, and the mouse is kind of stuck in the middle with tanks in front of him, tanks behind him. My goal right now is to try and kill that Badger. He's the weakest link in the enemy team. Sorry, not Badger, mouse. The mouse in the mid is the weakest link. It's a little tired, sorry. So I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to start clipping this mouse. Now, I know the Badger's above me, and I know he's probably going to turn to try and put a shot into me, but I want to make this mouse a one shot. And what you see I'm going to do here is I'm not going to turn around yet. And the reason why I backed up instead of turning around is I wanted that Badger to shoot AP at my front. If I had turned around before relocating, he would have probably HE'd me, right? And 600 plus, that's not fun. Now, I'm not going to push on the Badger. Even though he shot me, I'm not going to push on him because there's 2 waffles that are unspotted. Pushing on him would practically be suicide, right? He's a decent player. He'd probably wedge me out. He has a lot of hard cover next to him, and the waffles would probably come back and kill me very fast. So my next plan is to push in and try and distract or kill this E100, right? He's the weakest link on the enemy team now besides the mouse, who is pretty much useless in this game. Get a little lucky the E100 missed there. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep pushing up to this mound in front of me. And the reason I'm doing that is I want to use this mound of dirt in front of me as hard cover from those TDs that I know are camping in the back, right? I do not want to get hit by those TDs. So I'm just going to reload my clip here. Pushing on the T54 is an option, but it's a terrible option because, like I said, there's TDs back there. If I push on him, I'm taking 1 or 2 150 mil shots to the side to get to him, and then there's a chance I don't even clip him out if I bounce a shot. It would just be reckless. So what I'm going to do again is I'm going to relocate. I noticed this Badger pushed down into the encounter cap, right? He is no longer in a good position. He's very exposed here, which leaves me free to flank him. And that's what I'm going to do. And I like that I didn't get spotted there. I actually thought I was going to be spotted, but I wasn't, which is great. That means I can freely flank this Badger. And that's what I'm doing. I am going to take a position through the middle, and I'm going to use the encounter cap kind of as cover in case their TDs poke out. And I'm aiming for track shots in this Badger, but unfortunately both of my shots actually don't take off his tracks. But me being in this position turned him around, right? And it gave our waffle a free shot on his side. So now the Badger is out of the game. So this game's looking much better, right? It's 2 waffles and a clippable T54. And I am hugging this ridge here, as you'll notice, and that's because I wanted to avoid getting hit by that waffle who was pre-aiming towards my direction. I thought perhaps he would pull down to try and kill the E75, but he was not doing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up, and I'm not going to shoot the waffle the moment he's in my reticle, and that's because I want to pull all the way around and get to this mound here. That way I can pull straight back into cover the moment I need to. I wait for the waffle to turn sideways. Not sure how that shot didn't pen, but then I'm free to push some shots into him. And unfortunately, I missed the kill shot there, which is not fun. But either way, that waffle got distracted by me looking my direction, and now he's on 24 HP. So that's much better for me. I'm not going to poke this position again. I don't want the waffle to try blind firing me, and I just think it's a little risky. I don't want to blind fire there as well because it's a 4-on-4. I need my clip potential, and I would rather guarantee a kill shot here. I am being very cautious poking around the corner because I thought the waffle would be there, but it turns out he wasn't. So I'm going to freely pull up, and I can get this kill shot here. And it turns out the waffle was there. He was just hiding around the corner. So I'm going to put some HE shots into him, which is great for me. make him a 2-shot for me here, and now I'm in a 1 versus 2 situation. Now I could just YOLO the waffle because I saw he just fire, but YOLOing him would expose me. I know the T-54 is already on his way back. If I pushed on the waffle, I probably would have taken 1 or 2 shots from the T-54 by the time I actually killed the waffle, whereas by playing passively and allowing the waffle to turn back and shoot me, I did get a little lucky there, he shot HE, but by allowing him to sit there and turn back and shoot me, I didn't get shot by this T-54 first, and this is great because that means now I have a full clip and my a decent amount of HP to deal with this T-54. Now, gun depression issues are an issue with the bat chat, so I wait until I have full gun depression before shooting, fully aim the shot, and absolutely no problem, game over for that T-54, nothing he could do in that situation. And so that was a pretty decent game. I like how I rotated a lot that match. I rotated like 3 times back and forth, just trying to find those angles and be opportunistic. Like I said, with the bat chat, you want to be opportunistic with this tank. And so if you're able to identify those opportunities, knowing when to relocate, reading the enemy's lineup, and figuring out where your tank can go to best benefit the team by dealing damage or either spotting, you're all set for the bat chat. That's all it takes to play the bat chat. It's not that complicated, but a lot of people struggle with it. So I hope this video was helpful, for people to understanding how I play the bat chat. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to like the video and subscribe for more content. Everyone have a wonderful day.